Okay, so building on the first heads-up display video, and this one we want to be able to actually get collectible objects and stuff to refuel energy, or have fuel actually deplete as we're playing. So, if we load up the character first, I'm going to just quickly organize this so it's semi-together. Whoop. Whoop. Now if I just quickly click and drag over it all and press C, that'll make a comment. So this will be bug testing UI, so I can delete that all later when I'm confident that it's all working. Right, so we're going to add a variable first for fuel deplete. So for when the fuel is being used, actually we'll name it fuel used ? Okay, and by default compile, we're going to leave it unticked so it's false. Key press, key shift, left shift. Yeah, I'll go with left shift. So left shift, when the left shift key is pressed, I want to set this to true so that it knows that we're using fuel or we're driving. So left shift pressed, cool, and I'll copy and paste this, and when left shift is released, it returns it back to false. Okay, so event tick now, event tick. So event tick triggers every single frame that is rendered on the screen. So we're going to drag this out and do branch. So branch, we're going to drag out fuel used and get. So if fuel used equals true, we want to do player fuel to be get the current value of fuel. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I shouldn't use fuel used. It should be player fuel get minus. So I'm not going to do 0.1. We'll do maybe 0.01 or 0.001. So that'd be 1%. That would be no. So that's 10%, 1%. Hell, we'll start with that, and we'll clamp float. There we go. And return. Bye, Joel. So minimum value 0, maximum value 1. Complete. Save. Alright, so every frame is going to check whether fuel is being used. If it's true, player fuel is going to be. It's going to check the current fuel. It's going to minus 0.01, so 1% of the total fuel. It's going to make sure it stays between 0 and 1, and that will work beautiful. Okay. Right. Maybe because we haven't actually got a car or any way to visibly get feedback that it's working. Actually, we do. We'll be fine. We'll save it. We'll press play. Okay. So as soon as I press shift, fuel goes down and it stops, and I can refill it using the old key bindings of 3 and 4. Yeah. So shift, and it goes back up. There we go, beautiful. Okay, so we can make fuel go down, and if we was to go back into, now we're going to make a new asset. So we've got the fuel depleting when we use it up. If we go back to our user interface folder, we're going to create a new blueprint class called an actor, and this will be fuel pickup. Okay, so if I open this up, open it up. Alright, so this is just currently it's a capsule, which it's a game object which contains code. So the first thing I want to do is add some kind of visual feedback to the player that is a object that can be collected. So I'll make a little cube. Yeah, and I'll drag out a sphere on top. Sphere. I don't know why the spheres come out like an egg, but That's fine. There you go. Alright. So I'm just trying to make it look vaguely capsule-esque. Why is it doing this? Okay, I'll just scale it that way. Oh, that looks terrible. Okay, hell. We'll just have a cube. And a material, just so it stands out as clearly different. I'm going to create a new material for it. Third person, user interfaces, pickup. And I'm going to quickly change that material to maybe a glowing green. So I just held down 3 and left clicked to create a constant 3 vector, double clicking on it, choosing the color I want, and maybe I'll plug it into emissive as well. Oh, that's hideous. Okay, we'll keep it. Okay, so we've got our fuel pickup, and compile, save, and now if I drag that fuel pickup object out into the environment, I'll dot a few of them around. So, here we go. Right, so to speed up copy and pasting around, if I hold down Alt on a keyboard and just use the arrow keys, I can drag out extras. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so we've got a few pickups in the level, and now because they're all instances of this one game object here, if I go in, I can add different effects to this. So what we need to do is code the pickup interaction. To do that, in order to get events to be coordinated across multiple objects, what we need to do is set up a blueprint interface. So user interface, nope, not that one, blueprints, blueprint interface, there we go. We're going to call this pickup interface. Okay, and then if we just double click and open this up, we've got a new function here which we just need to name. We'll call it picked up. Okay, so compile and save. We'll close that. So in order for our pickup object and the third person character to access that blueprint interface, so the interface is essentially a phone line between the two objects so that they can communicate together. We go to class settings, and under interfaces we want to add pick up interface, compile and save, close that, and then we're going to open up the third person character, class settings, implemented interfaces, add pick up interface, compile and save. Right, so what we need to do is trigger the event. So right, where should we start? We could start with the third person character. Okay, so event begin overlap, event actor begin overlap. There we go. So if the other actor has a tag, actor has tag, we want to say, so in the tag we want to search for collectible. So if it has that, we're going to go branch, so we can check whether the actor is of the correct type that it's collided with. If it's collided with someone that has a collectible tag, we want it to get player fuel, set player fuel, I've done that wrong. I'll quickly delete that one. So player fuel, we want it to be plus float, and then we're going to get the fuel. So getting the current fuel and adding on 0.2, so it adds on 20% of their maximum fuel. Compile, save. But then before we leave this window, what we need to do is tell the other object when it's been collided with that it needs to die or go away or be hidden. So after set, if we drag it out, we search for pick up. So we're looking for interface call. No, we want to do turn off context sensitive and do message. There is picked up message. So it's going to message the other object, which is over here. So we're just going to drag the other actor that's been collided with, picked up, compile, save. So now it finishes off with, it checks that the actor that it's collided with has the tag collectible. If it's true, it will add on point to fuel, and then after that it will message the other object and tell it to trigger an event. So if I load up the other object, we don't want any of these events. We say right, we want picked up, add event picked up. So the message that we finished on the third person character will trigger this event picked up, and for here we just want destroy actor. Okay. And now before we finish with this, what we need to do is add a collision to this object. So we made the cube for the object to be collected, but if we just search for collision sphere and we just scale it up, so there's a reasonable margin for error. So the player hasn't got to hit it perfectly, just kind of get close enough. That should, if I press shift to deplete it some, we run up, we overlap and nothing happens. Okay. So why might that be? Aha! I know why. So I've currently set the player to search for a tag. But I've not actually assigned the tag to the actor yet. So if I just select the text, Control C, I'm going to go into my fuel pickup, and in the viewport, make sure we've got the actor selected. So fuel pickup at the very top. So you don't want the default scene root or the cube. It's got to be the very topmost level. We're looking for actor. We're going to expand it, and under tags, we just need to make sure we add collectibles and just Control V to paste it into there. Compile and save. If I press play now, deplete the fuel. Okay. And that's all there is really to adding spawnable objects. If instead we didn't want the object to be destroyed, we could set it up so that it instead, if we break off this node quickly, when it's picked up, just 1 second, set visibility for default scene root. So we're setting visibility to be false, and set collision for the sphere. Set collisions. Set collision. We want to set enable the actor's collision for self. New enable actor collision is false, and then we could do a delay of maybe 5 seconds, and at that point we copy paste all of this onto the end, and make sure we put visibility back on. So I'm just making sure it follows down to all the children as well, and there we go, compile and save, and now that should all hopefully, so deplete, turns off, and after 5 seconds it should come back. There we go. So we've got reusable collectibles. Yeah. There we go, and that's all there is to it.